Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome all of you for the morning hearing program. We start with the prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Darati Swakatantikam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
How to increase bhakti rasa? My answer, follow Rupa Goswami. Recognize the glories. How much nectar does these two syllables of Krishna have? I cannot say. And when I'm chanting, so when you're chanting, pronounce the words carefully. I mean, you can chant swiftly, but pronounce the words carefully, not mushy. And then the way to make sure that you're chanting the words carefully is by hearing. And when you're hearing carefully, the mind, the sound goes to the heart, the mind becomes captured, the restless, wandering mind becomes captured, and that's when the rasa will stay and not come and go. Now it takes practice because the mind is restless and you want what you want. You want bhakti rasa or something. You want to feel something.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, somehow I might confused with mind versus heart. Like
No.
mostly we are chanting more consciously. It goes here. Like
No.
mind is not wandering.
That's
though.
You're missing the. Just keep it simple. The mind is not your head. The mind is the faculty of where the senses gather information from the senses. That's where it goes to the mind. And there's functions: thinking, feeling, willing. And then there's the heart. And that's what was going on inside. It's distinct from the mind. It's connected to the mind, but it's distinct from the mind. Now, I don't want to go with it further, because then it becomes, a kind of esoteric thing. It's quite simple. Hear very carefully. Vibrate carefully. Hear very attentively. Rapt attention, using Prabhupada's phrase. With your spiritual ear, using Bhaktisiddhanta's phrase. And when that sound enters into the courtyard of the heart, the mind becomes captured or stunned or still. And the senses become inert, and everything is, you're approaching eternality. And that's Krishna. And then comes the rasa, because you're with Krishna, and Krishna's there, but we're out to lunch. Enough. I'm going to say it again. Pray to Rupa Goswami to understand this nice verse. Meditate on it, and he'll help you get there. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for the wonderful and enlightening session. I just wondering on one of the slides that you're showing about the different books which Rupa Goswami has written, and one of them was like all the list of 16 astounding work. So how one can make oneself eligible to read, like when we heard about the name of those who like Lalit Ganodesh Deepika and Brihat Ganodesh Deepika, all those which are very internal pastimes of Radha Krishna and intimate pastimes, we can say of. So is it possible for a living or for a normal person, like I can give my example, like me, like, when I go through it, I'm not able to understand it all. It's like how we can make ourselves eligible for that. Because for me, I've just started reading Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and part of that, but up to that level, if we need to increase, what exactly the plus factor we need to have? If you can help, Maharaj.
Start with your chanting. Start with following Rupa Goswami by following his standard of chanting, his method and standard of chanting. And when that orientation of the tongue, the ear, and the heart is in alignment, then you're eligible. Or you're increasing your eligibility as you're increasing that alignment. And you can stay there. Then you're eligible. Your eligibility is increasing. Don't be so anxious to go to those writings that Prabhupada didn't make available to us yet. But I recommend, because you're asking, I recommend that you very carefully study the Bhakti Shastri and then the Bhagavatam and everything, the essence of everything that's in the Goswami's writings is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's what Krishnadas Kaviraj did. He took the essence of the Goswami's writings, which is the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and presented it systematically in an organized, intelligible fashion, tablamized fashion in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And it's still really elevated. And then there's Prabhupada's purports that makes reference to Bhakti Siddhanta and Bhakti Vinod and his own. Go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Don't worry about, the more esoteric literatures, etc., etc. Just take these are very elevated texts. Be happy that
Sure.
Prabhupada has given them, and that Krishnadas Kaviraj has given them.
Yeah.
And you won't be feeling you're missing out.
Thank you, Maharaj. It's really helpful.
And discuss in the company of others that wish to understand these fundamental teachings, and associate with them and discuss with them.
Sure. Thank you.
This is an online question, Maharaj. It's asked, Dear Guru Maharaj, in the pastime of the old Brahmana getting offended by Rupa Goswami's external laughter, can I say or understand there's also a lesson that we as sadhakas should not, or should also not unnecessarily feel disrespected or offended by apparent actions of other Vaishnavas?
Sure. Go and ask them. I mean, be transparent and very open in your relationships with others. If you feel something, say something. And, just seek clarification. Not, point fingers and say, why you make me feel like this? I felt this. I don't really understand. Maybe you can help me understand. Like that. Or, just leave it alone. Something that we're going to hear about Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is he never entertained such topics. We hear in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's others that didn't entertain such topics. Haridas Pandit, his name is mentioned. He did discuss these things. Because specifically Raghunath Bhatta Goswami saw Vaishnavas, they're serving the Lord. And whatever there is, they're serving the Lord. And that was where his attention was going. And by that higher consciousness, he was able to elevate people to higher consciousness. No, Not that everyone has to do what he did, but that's what he did. Okay. Anything else? Is there something? That's it online. Over here, anything? You're absorbed in the children. Okay, we had, yes.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Sometimes, like in new devotees, like when they start chanting, they're in a little bit confusion whether to increase the quality of the chanting or to increase the number of rounds. So how to balance both of them?
You do both. Why one versus the other?
So sometimes they don't.
I'm saying it's artificial.
Mm.
So it's artificial. So 16 minimum, and if you can increase quantitatively, fantastic. And you can always increase qualitatively. So priority goes to qualitative, and if one can quantitatively increase, fantastic, without compromising the attention to quality. Many devotees are struggling just to do the quantity, frankly. Maybe there's lots of devotees that aren't, but devotees that are in that they're maintaining and have been maintaining quantity, stay with it. Become qualitatively and quantitatively better. Do both.
So if they are not satisfied with the quality, so they should keeps chanting those minimum rounds, or they should strive.
It's not a fixed rule. It's not do this, don't do that. It's not a rigid thing. Sometimes increasing quantity helps with quality. Sometimes increasing, focusing on quality inspires you to do more quantity.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Guru.
One question over here, and then I think we're going to end. You have something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna.
Chanting loudly is better.
How loudly?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Okay. I got the picture.
And I have other question.
Wait. Let me do one at a time. Here's a Prabhupada story. Do you know who Giriraj Maharaj is? You know who he is? You've heard his name?
I heard his name.
Prabhupada disciple. So some years ago, he was a brahmachari and I was a brahmachari. We were brahmacharis together in the Boston Temple. He used to chant loudly, japa, and people would complain because it was, there was disturbing their japa in the temple room. So he wrote to Prabhupada a letter. Is it okay? And Prabhupada's answer was, chanting should be done audibly, not so that you're disturbing other people in the room, and chanting swiftly it helps to capture the mind, but not so swiftly you can't hear every syllable. So chanting loudly helps, audibly helps capture the mind, and chanting swiftly helps capture the mind. However, there are some people that like chanting softly, and that's fine. The essence is how attentive are you? And if softly helps you, if audibly, loudly helps you,
As long as I'm not disturbing others. in the
Yeah.
house.
yeah,
So other question I have, 16 mantra. I'm not able to do all 16.
okay,
Sometimes I do only 6 or 7.
okay,
Then I do rest in the evening.
okay,
I come back from work.
very good.
So that's okay.
Yeah. What's important in numerical is something every day, and as time passes and you have been maintaining the same something every day, you incrementally increase to something that's a little bit more. It's a little bit of a stretch, but doable and maintainable, and you follow that standard, And don't be it's not a race. You're not competing with anybody or something. It's just, it's your relationship with Krishna, and you make your relationship with Krishna strong and firm, and little by little.
Thank you.
Okay?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is our last question.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, I have a question related to chanting. So when the sound enters the heart, is that when we realize self as well as Krishna? Is that when?
When the sound goes first, let me just add it a little bit. First, the sound goes into your ear. Okay, you're making the sound goes into the ear, you're hearing attentively, and then it goes into the heart. And then what?
Then would we realize self and Krishna?
It depends. And Krishna can do whatever he wants to do. You'll feel his presence. You'll feel his presence. But the nature of that realization is up to Krishna. He can reveal himself more or less, or somewhere in between. But it's the connection, that realization of feeling connected to Krishna is there. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna devotees. We pause the hearing for today. Any devotee likes to share something, comment, question, please feel so. Yes, Sharbari Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Many
Krishna.
questions on chanting Maharaj explained very nicely.
Yes,
I liked that particular explanation when Maharaj said regarding chanting that we should chant carefully and then hear it attentively. It should enter the courtyard of your heart and then the mind becomes still. So that was a very nice explanation. Even each and every question he answered on chanting was very beautiful. I have one question regarding chanting. Maharaj always says that chanting should be minimum 16 rounds. Now, what does it basically mean? Because chanting 16 rounds takes quite some time, and then we all know as Shivaks or devotees, we are supposed to focus on many other activities as well. So ideally, what should be the number of chanting rounds so that one can distribute the limited hours of a day? That was the question, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Kumarika Mataji, would you want to take this question of Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Actually,
Yeah.
prior to Srila Prabhupada's time, the minimum number of chanting for any Dikshitri disciple was 64 rounds. But Prabhupada was so very compassionate and kind for Kali Yuga people like us. So he made a minimum of 16 and he said nothing less than 16. So if we are aspiring to keep the minimum standard of rounds, that is our aspiration. At least we should do 16 rounds every day. So that is always good to make an effort to keep a constant number. Like he said, while answering some devotee in the last question, he said that even if you are doing 10 rounds in the morning or 6 rounds in the evening, be constant. It is perfectly all right if you cannot finish your rounds in the morning because of your various duties, but then come back and chant, but keep that minimum standard possible. That is all I know, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, that is fine. But even Maharaj himself also says that it's minimum 16. I mean, the number is not 16 rounds. It's always minimum 16. So can we take it as 16 rounds and then focus on other activities? I'm just trying to understand that when someone really progresses in the spiritual line, what the focus should be, 16 rounds and then other activities related to Shiva, or it should be simultaneously increasing the rounds as well?
Oh, yeah. After your study at 16 rounds, and if you want to spontaneously increase those rounds, nothing like it. It is nice to I know people that who chant regularly 48 rounds, 32 rounds, like that. There are people even in their working life, like Sham Sundar Prabhu, he lives in USA somewhere. So he used to chant even during his work hours, and he used to do 45, 47, 48 rounds even while he was working. His job was like that he had to wait. He was a medical technician for the hospital. So in between the calls, he used to get time and he used to sit in a conference room and chant. So the focus is, if possible, the chanting is the direct connection to Krishna. The minimum that is prescribed for any person who is getting initiated is 16, but you don't have to stop with 16. If you can do it, but always concentrating on the quality also, then that is nothing like it. It is the best possible thing that you can do for progressing in spiritual life. But then, if you there are two types of people called Bhajananandi and Goshtiyanandi. So, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura said that you should do seva. You should not make it as an excuse that I am chanting, I have to complete my rounds, and so I will not do seva. So the other activities as well, like Vaishnava seva or seva at the temple or whatever seva we can do in the by way of preaching or other things, all that is also important. It is definitely making us progress. So we should not make that an excuse that I'm not able to complete 32 rounds or 48 rounds, so I will not do seva. So Vaishnava seva, but plus the chanting of the rounds. Both should be balanced. If you ask me whether we should, because very few people can be all the time chanting and really be expert at it. That is, with their heart, they are able to chant. To do a little bit different type of activity is easier for people like me who cannot concentrate that 100% in chanting for a long, long period of time. So it depends on your nature and what you are prone for, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. It's a very clear answer. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji. Mataji, I have a question on this chanting. Can I go ahead, Mataji?
Yes, sir, please go ahead, bro.
Mataji, there is one is you have a bead, you sit and you chant, right? And chanting could also be something when you're doing something, maybe not with the bead and you could just be chanting. So how would you consider, what is the right prescription of, chanting? And actually which is counted as, this is 1 round and this is 2 rounds and so on and so forth. Because sometimes you're just doing something and you're chanting continuously. And sometimes you're actually sitting with the bead and you're doing the chanting, right? So how will you kind of qualify that, Mataji?
Actually, when we are taking initiation, when Guru Maharaj is giving the beads to you, then he is telling you will do minimum 16 rounds on these beads. So that is the Sankhya Purvak. Even if you see the Goswamis, they did with Sankhya, with the number of n number of times, whatever they have taken in their mind. So that much number also is important. That is for regulating us. So that 16 rounds we should chant on those beats. But apart from that, if somebody is doing kirtan and doing cooking and doing nama japa and doing some other activity, washing or doing, all the time, if you are able to chant the names while working simultaneously, like people, like things which do not require much attention, like you are doing the routine work, so you're chanting as well. That is wonderful. That is definitely, that is noticed by, and very few people are able to remember the Lord always. So when you're doubting, you are chanting along with the other activities, then it becomes every activity, even the washing or the mundane job which you are doing becomes a devotional activity. So you are remembering Krishna while doing that activity. That is excellent, but then the minimum number of rounds should be chanted on the beats. That should not be compromised.
Thank you, Mataji. It's clear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, there is another question that comes into this context. What about the digital counter? And Srila Prabhupada said that one should chant minimum 16, as Mataji said, on a beats. Apart from that, we can do digital counter or in mind. Sometimes people would not, new people, not the devotees who are practicing, but new people. What if I don't want to count? I'm very very elevated and I do in only mind. But Prabhupada has specifically mentioned 16 rounds. And Maharaj answered question today that which is in such a way that it is not very softly, but not very loudly as well. If it is too loudly, it comes into kirtan, not as a japa, because there is a distinguished level, sound level, which makes the level, differentiate between the japa and sound, japa and kirtan. So it should be on the 16 rounds, should be on the particularly on beats. And apart from that, as Mataji said, that maybe on manasik or doing any other activities or on beat on the digital counter. But that are our bonus. Minimum 16 rounds on beats.
Thanks a lot, Prabhu. Thanks a lot, Kumarika Maharaji, for covering these regular doubts with regards to chanting. So maybe just to sum up would be, one is minimum 16 rounds on the beats. If we can do more, that is great. Another thing is the digital aspect of chanting or chanting while doing some other activity that is over and above your regular 16 rounds, which is being chanted on the beats. The other thing is balance the seva aspect as well as chanting. That is one. And as Maharaj mentioned a few points in this particular lecture, attention is the essence while we are chanting. So that is one. And sometimes, to one of the questions, Maharaj mentioned that sometimes quality of chanting improves the quantity, and sometimes vice versa also happens. So that is also important. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Any other devotee would like to add to this or from any other point from the lecture? Please do so, devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Chandan Prabhu. Dhanvat Pranam.
So there is no question. Just I want to comment one line.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
When we were taking shelter from Maharaji last year, around 7-8 months back, then one of the Prabhuji was introduced by His Grace Ugal Kishore Prabhuji, and like he told that he is doing this many round, but not 16, lesser than that. Then and Prabhuji was explaining we have some bhakti steps like that. Then Maharaji told, "Oh, is it? It is India. It's possible." But for us, only 16 round is minimum. 16 round is there. Like that, Maharaji was commenting. Means for Maharaji, minimum is 16 only. No 4, 8, 12. And Maharaji commented like it's India, like that. So just I was remembering his words, so I thought I should share this.
Thanks a lot, Prabhu. Maharaj is following the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is given that prescription, minimum 16 rounds. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Subudhi Rai, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. There was one point Maharaj said chanting swiftly captures the mind, but he said something I could not catch that. I just wanted to clarify that. Hare Krishna.
Thanks. Even I think I missed that. Any devotee got that point, what Maharaj mentioned, that is chanting audibly we hear, and then swiftly it captures the mind.
If it is too swift, and if you're not pronouncing the syllables properly, then it is wrong. That's what he said. It's not right.
Oh, okay, Mataji. Okay, got it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Shamkun Prabhu. Please go ahead, bro.
Hare Krishna. Two different things, Prabhu, that I'd like to share. One, when I heard Kumarika Mataji today, I couldn't but notice one aspect. There's something about what Maharaj said. She was clarifying what Maharaj said to Sharbari Mataji and others. All that was there, but underlying it was the voice of deep humility, also the voice of helplessness, the voice of I will put my effort, but you are in control. And this is, in one sense, the right mood for chanting. It is the right mood for executing any activity of devotional service. And I've been knowing Mataji, it's almost, I think, 2012 to 25, 13 years now. And such a nice change in her sincerity here. I feel like we should all pray to her that may we get the sincerity. And it was not about, if you hear all of her comments, either today or in the previous sessions, never is she postulating that she's at a higher position. And some people say, oh, I'm not so good. And sometimes it happens that we are used to saying or to berating ourselves in a mechanical way, or thinking that this is expected when you are in a devotee community. But in her case, it's not the mechanical way. It's being natural. There's a natural quality of humility that comes up due to which one naturally feels not bad about oneself, but just feels one is small. So there's this thin line between feeling bad about oneself and feeling small. And the smallness happens by recognizing the greatness of Krishna. And that smallness could be seen in what the tone and the mood in which Kumarika Mataji was saying. So I'd like to thank Mataji for being with us and helping us there. That's number one. Number two, adding to what Kumarika Mataji said, but a little bit more historical context and just substantiating what Kumarika Mataji said. That during the time of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there was nothing like one fixed set of rounds for everybody. The Mathavasis, the Sannyasis, and the Brahmacharis, they had to chant 64 rounds. Outside the Math, depending on the person, it had to be either 4 rounds or 8 rounds or 16 rounds like that. And when Srila Prabhupada went to the West, he made it 16. And there is a reason for that, or not a reason, there are many reasons why he did that. 16 is a comfortable spot which puts a normal human being in discomfort. When we go with 4 rounds or 8 rounds, it is possible to chant it, but we are not in discomfort. And recently, I heard Gaurang Darshan Prabhu saying, which you all might have also heard in some snippet. It's going on the web. He mentioned in that snippet that a person who persists in chanting 16 rounds, whether he is able to focus or not, but just because Srila Prabhupada wants it, Krishna wants it, if he does that, Krishna will then come and say, you have done your part. Now I will open the curtain and I will reveal myself to you. And he will give the taste of chanting to that person. He sees the sincerity. And Srila Prabhupada had said, if you follow the path of 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles, I will take you back to Godhead. So we chant 16 rounds to connect to this promise of Srila Prabhupada and to note that Prabhupada is there for us. he is going to take it. If the word Gaudiya Vaishnavas is very broad, there are many institutions. There's the Gaudiya Math, there is the ISKCON, and there are many others also who are very nice devotees of in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Just like in Sri Vaishnavism, you have many mats. You have the Ahobilam Mat, you have the Vanamamade Mat, many others, and same in Madhva, etc. In one sense, ISKCON is a mat. But here, our connection to Krishna is primarily through Srila Prabhupada. And therefore, there is something, a pact between Prabhupada and Krishna. That, yes, people can do, when you say it has to be a fixed number of rounds, it can be 4, it can be 8, it can be 6, 5, 7, any odd number also, nothing like an even number. But there is some higher vision that Srila Prabhupada has seen, which we don't know fully. And by experience, we have known that this 16 rounds makes us it makes us reschedule our entire life around chanting, because 16 is not possible for a person who's working in the world outside without rescheduling their life, and 16 is not possible without letting go of the numerous pull and push of the mind. The mind wants this. There are so many things that we want to enjoy, experience, and accomplish. And we have to take a choice. Do I want that, or do I want to chant 16 rounds? And it's also about how we sleep at night, what we do at night, when we take dinner, and all that stuff. So it's rescheduling the entire life with the purpose, if it is like how with Kumarika Mataji, to pleasing Srila Prabhupada and pleasing her own spiritual master. And one of the things that I still recollect with Kumarika Mataji was, she felt, I'm old. I mean, she was 60, probably she was 60, 61 years old in 2012. At that point, she said, I'm old. I'm taking up to this process so late. And she had the fire in her. And with that fire that I am old, I don't know how long I'm going to live. And that's why Maharaj gave her the name Kumarika. You are youthful. He gave her the gift of youth to her. And with that youthful exuberance, she knew, I don't know how much time is left. I have to do it soon. So she stayed on to the process. The problem for many of us is we are under the illusion, I have time with me. If we have to become a nice devotee like Kumarika Mataji, we should have the sense of urgency. Without that sense of urgency, we don't go. But sometimes we use the sense of urgency in the mode of wanting to achieve. But rather, following the footsteps of Kumarika Mataji, it should be in the mood that, my Lord, please reveal me. I'm trying my best. I'm still not able to do my best. You please do something. Please come and help. Prabhupada, please come and help. All the Vaishnavas come and help. And then slowly something can happen. That's it. Thank you. I have to leave now to go take the bus. So see you later. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thanks a lot. Very wonderfully explained, very nicely glorified, Kumarika Mataji. And yes, bro, we do see that all the aspects, qualities, wonderful Vaishnava qualities of Kumarika Mataji, which you brought up. So Kumarika Mataji, thanks a lot. Mataji has been giving crisp, the essence of the answers of to the questions asked by devotees. And Shamkun Prabhu, thank you also for always giving the essence as well as elaborating those points which we need to hear. And it's every day, it's motivating us, inspiring us every day. So this particular lecture plus this discussion which we've had today is sort of like the key things about chanting are discussed here. So it's worth it that we all try and hear this particular recorded. It's recorded, it's live stream, it'll be there in YouTube. So we can maybe go back to this lecture in case of any doubts or inspirations. Thank you, devotees. So any other
I don't deserve it.
No, Mataji, no.
By any means, but anyway.
No, Mataji, thanks a lot.
You deserve every bit of it,
I
Mataji, that
pray
we
that
can see.
you all pray for me so that I can really do what he is telling that I'm doing.
Yes, devotee. Anyone else wants to add any final comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I want to just comment one line. about
Prabhu.
Syam Kund Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
I have always seen Syam Kund Prabhuji picks up the jewels, whatever we are speaking,
Yes.
and he praised the devotees. Yesterday he was praising Maharajji, today he is praising. And this praise is not for namesakes, really, but that quality I don't have. I don't see the base things. I could not see that this part I'm lacking. And this is very, very good things in Syam Kund Prabhuji that I want to appreciate
Yes,
for
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Yes, any other devotees, or we'll close? We'll pause here for. Yes, Yugal Kishore Prabhu.
Chandam Prabhu, many of the times when we ask Maharaj, His Holiness Rampa Swami Maharaj, how do you get these qualities? And one standard answer Maharaj always gives, the association of devotees. And today you saw that how Syam Kund Prabhu was praising. So when there is a sincere, whatever, it could be chanting, and whether so when we associate with such a devotees, we definitely imbibe those qualities just by being with such devotees. And that is why the association of devotees is very important aspect. Today it was a question about praising. Tomorrow we may have different aspect, how I can become sincere, how I can become this. So all these are things, and that's why hearing Sravana, when we hear from Acharya Srila Prabhupada, Rompa Swami Maharaj, are gurus, other gurus in our ISKCONs. So great devotees, when we hear from them, actually those qualities automatically automatically means when we have sincere desire, and then that loudness is there, it actually starts get manifesting within us. So association is a very important aspect, and it's one of the 5 potent angas of the 64 devotional service that we discussed earlier. So even if we do not have, it will develop in a due course of time by having a proper right mood with associating with the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Truly. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thanks a lot, Yugal Kishore Prabhu. Okay, we'll pause for today. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you, Prabhu.